and have them out loud where you can hear them yourself, you know?
Yeah, dude, I feel like recording things is like fake. Like I'm so bad at recording myself.
And being
Like I
authentic.
record, yeah, like I'm being authentic and not like we can have a conversation and I feel good about it. If I start trying to talk to the camera about like what I want to do and what I'm passionate about, like if I feel stuck, I feel like I'm
Like giving a canned response.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, you know, like I get interviewed. Like yesterday, we had the grid thing, and like, you know, they interviewed me about, you know, what I thought it meant to the community and stuff, and like, I was just trying to say or whatever, but like, and I know it was real, dude. Like, so many people were having such a good time and had an amazing time.
No, it looked like it was fun.
It was so much fun, dude. But like, it didn't feel passionate when I said something about it. It didn't feel like I meant what I said. You know,
Like you felt like you were almost performing
right.
for like whatever the person was asking you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
I get that.
You know, trying to get the message across instead of just saying what I feel.
Right.
And like,
Well, wait, in a situation like that, what stops you from just saying how you feel?
I don't know, dude.
Have you had experience like that where you're just like you're just candid? You're not even scripted.
Now through March 18th, get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus on us with qualified trade-in. Learn more at xfinityMobile.com. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Same payment required.
Because how often do you even catch yourself speaking candidly about what you want to do and what your goal is and what your passion is? Because obviously people know like you want to help them live, but do they know the deeper meaning of it? Or like have you ever had a chance to express the deeper meaning behind it?
Not enough.
So maybe that's what you just need to do.
Yeah.
Because to me, it sounds like you know what you want to say, you just don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Like you know exactly, like you got the fucking Mona Lisa in your mind, but then the second that pen goes to paper, you draw a stick figure.
That's how it feels a lot of the time.
So that to me just sounds like you need more practice.
The weird thing is that like, in some ways, I feel like those candid moments are the moments I have one-on-one with like every person I talk to. You know, like when we talk about our goals and what we want to do at the gym, or whether it's like losing weight or
Flexibility.
winning something, or like winning a championship or a medal or PRing a lift, like, and then after that we start talking about like their lifestyle, like, well, you know, like how do you sleep and how do you eat, and like what do you tell yourself? Like, you tell yourself that you can do it, like you have confidence in that stuff, and like those conversations are conversations we have on a daily basis, all of us, and putting them, you know, pushing people to like, yo, like you can do it, like telling people that they can do it, you know, it's like, but again, it's like, when I try to say, guys, the reason I started this is because I want you guys to love yourself, and the way that I felt like I didn't love myself, and the way that I want people to love themselves and experience pushing themselves to their limits and reaching goals that they never thought were possible, you know, and like,
It's like it's hard to just convey that.
it's just, yeah, dude, it's just so hard.
Well, I mean, dude, as long as I've known you, you've never been open in that regard, or at least that much open, where you're like, the reason why I do this is because I didn't love myself as much, and I want you guys to realize that you should be able to love yourselves as much, and I want to help you get to that goal where you can love yourself that much. That's not something I've ever really heard you say, you know?
Maybe that's why people don't love me that much.
This guy. No, I think people don't love you that much because they fear you.
Fear me?
Fear you, yes, and like, and I say this as like a genuine, actual comment, okay? Because I think the reason why I got fired from my last job is because this guy was afraid of me. in the sense of I was not the conventional employee. I wasn't like a yes boy. I wasn't like I was a free thinker, you know? I had my own way of doing things, and it may have been a little unconventional or not traditional, but it was working. And people don't like that kind of change, if that makes any sense. And dude, you're not your typical gym owner. I mean, like, yeah, you kind of are in a way, but you're also not because of how you keep your community knit, how you will candidly tell people that they're being stupid or, you know, whatever. Like, you have your own way of doing things. It just seems like it's not of the normal. And I think that's why people get, like, where they're like, fuck this guy out. And he's not the normal.
Yeah, but like, what's the normal, you know?
Well, and that's another thing that's a tough one because that's a subjective thing, all right? What is normal? What is normal?
I don't know, dude.
No
It's
one
like-
can tell you what normal is.
And like, that's where sometimes I feel, you know, like, yeah, what is normal? Like,
no one can tell you. No one
nobody
can tell you.
what's normal, bro. It's not normal. The things that we do in this gym are not normal.
Right.
Because like, when you look at the numbers, and it's like, oh, only like 10% of the population can like deadlift their body weight or whatever. I mean, I think it's more than, I don't know what the numbers are, but I know it's like only 10% of people can bench press 225, right? And like, when I go into a set of like high school guys, I'm like, yo, every single one of you guys will be able to do this. And I expect every single one of you guys to put in the work to become basically the top 10% of the world. You know, like adults that can't squat their body weight, you know, is like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I know that if you can squat your body weight, you're gonna live like a healthy adult, 80-year-old, up to, you know, like your life is gonna be good from a physical standpoint, which is not the normal.
Right.
By the numbers in America, the normal for people is to be like weak and unhealthy and obese, like, and I expect everybody to be not like that. If you come through these walls, the expectation is for us to work to being above average, automatically. That's my normal.
And not every gym has that mentality.
Don't they?
Yes and no. Because I'm sure majority of will probably be like, okay, I see my like star pupils, I'm gonna give them the most attention, and everyone else can kind of just like fall to the wayside. But I know like you for a fact give everyone all attention.
Because what's the point? What's the point of paying me? Or what's the point of working together if like,
You're only gonna half-ass it, or you're gonna half-ass it, or
yeah, like,
no, I get that.
I mean, maybe that's another reason why people don't like it. Because I'm like, yo, like, we're not here to just like fuck around and be normal.
No,
Like,
exactly.
But then again, maybe that's why I'm such a bad business owner. Not every, like, that, dude, that's the shit that I think about. It's like, alright, maybe I just have to expect people to be like average. And I don't want to be average, bro. I want to be the best.
but
Like,
that's
you know
the
what I
thing.
mean? Like,
That will,
it's so against what I want for myself.
and I feel like that will cause more of an internal conflict with yourself than you asking like the why question, you know? But maybe that would be something that you have to consider, is kind of like not necessarily average, but just slightly above average. Slightly. You know, there's average, slightly above average, and then above average.
I mean, I think like from, I know people don't always like how, I guess, like nerdy that I talk about things,
Right.
about the science about it and everything, but I don't want everybody to be above average. I want everybody to get to a standard of health.
Right.
You know, so like, it's gonna be hard to deadlift your own body weight for 10 reps. For sure. It's gonna be above average. It's gonna be way more than normal. But it's not anything it should be normal. It's what should be normal if in my eyes the world was the right place, the way that it is, and
Everyone could do it.
Everyone would be able to do it because it's physiologically possible for every person in the world to do it. It's been proven through like all these other fucking science, blah blah blah. You know, versus like, oh, I want everybody to squat 400 pounds.
Which is
that's
a little
genetically impossible for people.
unrealistic.
Right, it's unrealistic for everybody in the world to be able to do some things like snatch 100 kilos or bench press 225 pounds. Like, there are people in this world
That will never be able to.
that will never, no matter how hard they try.
Right.
You know? So I try to have these like benchmarks, you know, of like, you know, if you can do this,
Then you
that,
should be able to do that.
yeah. And if you can do this, I'm proud of you for that because I know that it's really hard. It's not like it's easy to do that. It's hard to do that. But if you do that, that makes you
Slightly above average.
Yeah, that makes you above average. You know? And then I'm proud of that. Like, I'm really proud when people do, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Right.
But I've never worked with someone that can't do those things. Like, I've never started with someone, like, it's really cool. I got to start training my dad.
Nice.
And he hates working out. He works out 30 minutes once a week. And, like, we've gone from a 20 pounds deadlift to, like, I think we're at like 115 pounds
Okay.
in like 8 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And he hates working out. And he's halfway there to being able to do above average shit. For a person that's like 60 years old, hates exercise,
Right.
is doing it 30 minutes once a week, and I'm like so excited about that. So it's not even like that people need to become a shining superstar.
Right. Just do what is slightly above average.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's because of the whole mantra and idea of saying like, I want the best of the best. I want everyone to be the greatest. I want to have the greatest. Maybe that's what like kind of turns people away from it instead of just hey, if you're slightly above average, we like that.
I feel like I say that. I feel like I tell people that like, hey, look, the standard of what we want to do and see in our kids and our adults is this. This is what makes your kid or yourself just a healthy, like, what should be normal. You know, like, it sucks that our society is so unhealthy as a whole, and that by doing these things, it makes, like, you know, like when you order, like you go to a restaurant and you order chicken and rice, and they're like, oh, are you on a diet? And it's like, no, that's how I eat. Like, you know, like, I feel like I say that all the time, you know?
It could be that you do say it and people are just kind of stupid.
Or I'm not saying it good enough.
Or you're not visualizing the ROI, you know? You're not like letting them see what the actual return on this investment will be.
Yeah. But that's like, that's also something that I feel like it just takes so much, like I wish that I had a business partner or something that was able to like kind of turn all of the thoughts and ideas into something more readable and digestible. You know, like like everybody's so good at looking at Instagram content and watching reels and stuff, and like, again, since I'm not that good on camera, like I don't really like make a lot of reels and talk about, because I feel inauthentic when I do that.
I mean,
It's
to,
like-
to a varying of degree, it is inauthentic, but you have to. But like the things that you're trying to portray and convey are genuine, and that's where you just kind of have to bridge that gap between the obvious, inauthentic, not candid moment where you're speaking in front of the camera and kind of like stuff some of those genuine things into there. But I think that would just come with practice.
Yeah, and that's definitely like, I think I've put off getting on camera and talking like this and everything for a long time because I'm really uncomfortable with it. And like,
Well, what makes it uncomfortable? Like,
I don't
just the
know.
fact that you just know that what you're doing is just staged.
maybe I'm just scared that people don't want to watch it. Maybe I'm scared that people just don't really like
Want to give it the time.
want to give it the time or want to see me talk or you
Well,
know like
So that's funny, dude. So okay, I still have my Snapchat, right?
right.
And I don't have following. I have like 400 people that follow me, whatever. Okay? And I don't know if you've ever been on it, but you can do this thing called Spotlight, where you post it and it goes to like a real version or like real section, but for Snapchat, so like people can scroll through and they'll find it.
Oh,
Whatever.
okay, yeah.
Okay. So I'm posting shit there constantly, right? And it got to a point where I was noticing like 30 views. Like I don't do it for anything. I just do it because I'm like, fuck it. It's a video of me snatching. Like, let me just post it. It looks cool. And so yeah, like I'll get like 10 views, 30 views, 40 views, whatever. Nigga, one day I posted just a normal 70 kilo clean and jerk. I hit like 3K. And like it was nothing special. I didn't even really like try to do anything cool. It was just okay, let me just post it just for the fuck of it. Like I don't care, whatever. Nigga, it blew up.
Uh-huh.
So like the point I'm trying to make is that you probably shouldn't be afraid of posting shit like that because you never really know when it could just catch
I know.
and take off.
Right.
And that's the crazy thing about the day and age that we live in now because everything is so algorithm based that like, you could just hit the fucking jackpot one day where the algorithm blows up and next thing you know you got 10 people wanting to sign up.
Right.
So that's probably what you just need to do to like get over that fear.
But it's yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
no, like it's like I'll make every excuse in the book to not be great at that,
Right.
you know? But like I guess that's just what it takes, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe that's just what it takes because like I've been able to reach a lot of people.
Yeah. It's not like you can't make the reach. It's not like you don't have content that will captivate people. It's just like you gotta find the right combination of everything to catch into it. And then somehow translate that into sales. That's you know.
But see, that's kind of the thing is like, I don't want to do that as a job. Like,
I know you
don't
don't wanna do
that's,
that as a job.
Like it seems like that's kind of what you have to do,
Right.
where it's like, that's not what I wanted. And it goes back to like, oh, well, I want to eat chips all day, and that's like, so maybe that is why I'm mediocre at business on, you know, some level.
On the business development side, not necessarily the business side, because you know how once the people come in the door, you know how to give them the product that you're trying to sell. You know, it's not like you're giving them all these promises and they come in and they're just like, what the fuck? Like,
Dude, sometimes I feel like that, you know, sometimes I think that's where I also,
but that's a two-way street because
they have to do what they have to do.
right,
you
you're
know?
only as good as a coach as they are as clients.
Right. Like when people come in and it's like, do I have to do that? I'm like, bro, that's the backwards mentality. Like when I tell you,
Wait, what hurt?
like with so many people, they tell me that they want to win a medal. They tell me that they want to do this. And then I'm like, okay, great. Here's what you got to do. 10 sets of squats. Do I have to do that? Like,
Yes.
well, do you want to be what you said you wanted to be? And like, then here I go, like, you know, do you have to make content where you're talking and stuff like that? Like, well, I don't want to do that. Like, do I have to do that?
But
like,
do most gyms do that?
I don't know. I think that's something that frustrates me a lot. That like, I don't have a mentor. You know, like I don't have a business mentor like that.
But
that's-
you're a smart enough guy to where you could look at other successful or maybe not even successful gyms, see what they're doing, and then just kind of like piggyback off that a little bit.
from everything that I've learned or things that I've learned, you know, like I think the things that make a business successful is having a team where people do what they like to do and what they're good at. You know, I've seen what I think are like successful packed businesses, right? Like Z has Taekwondo right there. There's other CrossFit gyms that are local. There's CrossFit gyms that are local that are empty and CrossFit gyms that are full.
Right.
Locally, right here.
Right.
Right? Like, what are they doing that the other one is not doing? I wouldn't say it's making videos of talking about what we believe in.
No, of course.
You know, or I wouldn't say that it's that one gym owner wants the best for their clients and the other gym owner doesn't.
Right.
I don't think any gym owner really gets into this business because they want to like
Help people.
No, I don't think they get into this business because they want to make money. Like, you go be a stockbroker in Wall Street to make money. That's the one. You don't do it to help people.
Right.
You know, like, so at the very baseline of everything, if you don't want to help people get better, you don't get into this industry. You know, like there's no doctor that, well, I don't know about but okay, wait, because I think at some point along the way, right, the genuine feeling of wanting to help people gets lost when it becomes about like, shit, we have to pay the bills.
Right.
You know, and like, oh my God, I have to do this marketing thing and I have to do this other thing, and I'm not getting to focus on just helping people. And like, there's people that are texting me with business, or not business questions, with things that are gonna help them, like they're asking for help, and like I don't have time to answer them. So now, instead of helping you, I'm doing this other thing for whatever reason, but the whole reason I started this was to help you.
Right.
And I don't want to help you right now because I
can't.
So the thing that I think is what makes businesses successful is having people that do different jobs. So as a small business owner that's like, it's just me and there's not enough money, you know, like to...
You're doing everything on your own.
Right, and then that's what makes me so like frustrated about it, because I feel like then I end up not doing any of the jobs good.
Right.
You know, and like...
Because you're spread so thin.
Yeah.
And you're just getting sloppy, or just not paying enough attention to something, or anything.
Right. So like, I don't, and then I think personally, not having like a mentor to say like, okay, look, if you just made, I know you hate making videos, but if you made 5 videos a week, or 5 videos, whatever, if you did this, this would happen, for sure, guaranteed. Like I know how to tell people, if you do 5 sets of 5 at 100 pounds, right? Next week, you will be able to do 5 sets of 5 at 100 pounds again. Or maybe more, depending on some of these other variables. And then after doing that for a few times, then you will be able to do 5 sets of 5 at, it's like very like, I can understand the input and the output very clearly.
Right.
You know, like spend this, get back this.
Cause, effect.
Right. Whereas for all these different aspects of business, without a mentor to know, you know, like it's hard. And it's hard because there's tons of mentors out there that are selling their programs for $10,000. And I'm like, well, I don't have $10,000 and I don't know if you're about to steal my money.
Right, exactly. And
You know?
the other tough thing is that you're in such a niche market. It's such a niche market that you need like a legit expert specialist to be a mentor. You really can't just go to like any small business owner and be like, hey, help me run my gym.
But gyms are a big market.
But you have a niche market because it's kids.
Kids are a giant market.
But it's niche because there's not that many options, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, you are a very unique establishment in South Florida, Pembroke Pines, because how many other places offer Olympic-style weightlifting for children?
That's where I get worried so often that I'm not really helping people.
Right.
Because...
Well, hold on. When you say not helping people, what do you mean by that?
Like, if my goal is to help families and kids get healthier and conquer obesity and become a little bit above average, and Olympic weightlifting is not the way, then I have to do one of 2 things. Change my goal. Be like, I want to do Olympic weightlifting and I don't care if Or I have to be like, well, to actually accomplish my goal and help all these people, I have to like do something different, like offer yoga.
Right.
I don't know, and so I don't know, and so in the business, I've actually like done like even I've changed what I offer in the classes multiple times. Like I offered little kids classes, and I offered like only weightlifting. I offered age group classes, and I got so like probably like frustrated in changing what I offered that I almost like didn't believe in what I offered anymore because I didn't know what I was offering anymore, and then that's the biggest like.
Yeah,
that'll tank your business so hard because now you don't even know what you're doing.
And then it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, you know, like Orange Theory offers treadmills and dumbbells and rowers, and CrossFit offers CrossFit, and like LA Fitness offers
General
giant space with all these machines and all these treadmills and like whatever. So it's like it's very important that a business like offers something that they offer.
Now, what was your expectation when you say like you wanted to help families and help people? Like what's your expectation with that? Like did you think every client that you would have come in, you would like help them rewrite their story, or was it only like a handful of people that you figured you'd be able to really help and have them understand the message? Because the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because looking at that fucking wall right there of medals and pictures of kids that are happy and doing what the fuck they're doing, it looks like you've been helping them. It may not be every single client that walks in the door, but my God, they worship you and you've done a lot for them. You've done a lot for them. And not just one kid, like the whole group of them, and not even every single kid is up there too. So it's like, you are helping, but maybe it's just not at the scale that you were anticipating.
Well, it's not the scale that makes. It's not the scale that's like paying my bills.
Well, okay, but
you know,
but you're a new business. You're
young.
Yeah. You basically just planted this shit in the ground and said, "Come."
Right. So I think what I believe is supposed to happen is we're supposed to have a ton of people that come once or twice a week forever.
Right.
Like, you're not supposed to come and necessarily do this every day as a part of your lifestyle.
Like they do.
Like they do.
Right.
That's not what every person, that's the extremely above average. And not every person is supposed to do that. Every person is supposed to do strength training 1 or 2 times a week of about 45 to 90 minutes a week to maintain muscle mass and like have certain qualities that, like I said, my dad is working out 30 minutes once a week to build a certain level of muscle, and hopefully he can do that for the rest of his life and continue living like with some, avoiding osteoporosis and avoiding some of these like health concerns and cardiovascular concerns. So I probably need like a membership that really does that.
Right. You have to make a program that offers something just for that.
Yeah, like, hey, look, our membership is once a week for, something such, but the thing is, I don't have the luxury of offering at a low cost and waiting for us to have 100 people. So I can't offer what I think is maybe the right price. Like, our once a week membership is $150. Realistically, I think it should be like $70 a month.
I was gonna say 75.
Yeah, like I realistically think that should be $75 a month, but
you offer it at $150 and then sell them it's a sign-up bonus at $75.
And then they get it forever.
Bro, like
I don't know. Again, that's where I feel like having a mentor or someone that could really like guide
hammer out those business decisions.
Yeah, would make sense. Like, hey, look, this is what you got to do. You got to offer it for this price, for this long, and then that way you'll get to this part, or this stage of the business.
And throughout your years of being involved in the fitness world or whatever, you've never met anyone that you think would be able to answer those questions for you?
Maybe I'm not asking the right questions, or
maybe that's what it is too. Like maybe you're just not asking the right questions to the right people. Because I know you know enough people in gyms that could maybe give you some fucking clue, or at least like if you ask them like a pretty general question, they may be able to help you out.
I'm pretty bad at asking for help.
Yeah, but you got to. Like at the point that you're at and how deep you are, like
Yeah.
dude, you have to ask for help. You have to. Like there's just
Right.
after a certain point, yeah, like you're an autonomous dude, you can figure shit out on your own, you can do things on your own, but man, my guy, like you're gonna have to get help from someone after a certain point. Just like how like you had to ask your girlfriend out, you know?
And it's weird because I love getting help.
Right, and like you don't want to go and like seek it.
Yeah, I don't like being in seeker mode.
But like, dude, sometimes that can save your fucking life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm speaking on straight experience on my end because okay, with what I'm doing now, I'm in a Shark Tank, right? Like the people that I'm trying to buy from are also quoting end users, airlines, whatever. So if I call someone that's my competition and I'm cool with them, I gotta just ask them the right questions. Like, hey man, can you quote me on this unit because I don't know what it's worth, but I want to try to quote it to my airline. Like, how much are you guys selling it for? And thank God, like I'm cool with these people. They'll be like, oh, 28,000. So then I know, okay, they're selling that for 28,000. Because I asked him, I can now sell my unit for 28 or less if I want to secure that deal. And it's like I wouldn't have known unless I went and asked someone.
Right.
So it's like after a certain point, you really, really do have to ask. And like even when I was at Touchdown, I remember I had seen an 8130, which is like a piece of paper that says this unit is good, it's basically new. So it was signed by a friend of mine that I used to work with, and I was like, holy shit, he doesn't work for our company, but I bet if I asked him to help me answer this quality question for us, he would do it just because. And he didn't end up helping me because he didn't know, but still, it was just the fact that I was like, oh wait,
Let me ask this guy.
let me ask this guy. He may be able to help me out. He may know, and then that could get me to where I need to get.
I wonder if it's a little bit of like, I don't want to say pride. Maybe it is pride.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, but in the way of like I know it'll help.
But it's like
Like I know what works.
But you
if
also-
you gave me $100,000 to hire a marketing company to do 5,000, and pay someone to make calls all day long, like it would work.
But
it's
okay.
it's like the inputs and outputs of money are so understandable that
now, but
You know?
knowing yourself and the history of you going through your different business ventures and options and whatnot, like how often were you ever in a position where you were trying to delegate work to someone else? You were very rarely in that position. The only thing you know is doing it yourself. Like, that's the only thing you know. You just know, do it myself. Oh shit, I want a t-shirt that's for my gym. I'll just design one myself. There's 6. Oh man, I think I want some stickers now. I'll just design one myself. Like, which isn't bad. That's not a bad thing, but then you kind of have to get to that point again where you're just spreading yourself so thin.
But so like I don't know how again like I think you're right. I think what I need to do is try to maybe go and contact some local gym owners and some of the people I know from CrossFit. Like I just go, hey dude, can we get a coffee and let me ask
Let
you
me
some
pick your brain.
questions,
Let me just pick your brain.
And I think that's overdue for sure.
The good thing is that most of the time people will love talking about what the fuck they do and
Right.
they just want to explain it to you.
Yeah, people love
Talking
like,
about themselves.
Whenever people ask me for advice, I'm like, yeah, anything I can do to help.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't really know a lot, and I don't think I'm very successful, but if I can try to help you along, I got you. So like, but something I've thought about, like every time that somebody asks for a job, wants to work here, I like ask them what they want to do. And I feel like the way to grow something really successful is to have a bunch of people that are doing what they want to do in relation to the common goal. Like if our common goal is to reach people in the local area, help them better their health and fitness, get them just to be a healthier version of themselves, And for the people that want to become an athlete, you know, like, or achieve really cool things, like, we can help you to do that too. Like, you know, we're not just gonna say athletes only. So like, I don't want to ask people for help. I want them to like, yo, you know what? I want to be that guy. You know, like, and that maybe that is just because I want people to like, I want people to love me. I want people to come and talk to me. I want people to be drawn in by me in that way that, you know, I want them to see what I'm doing and love what I do so much that they want to be a part of it. And hey, you know what? Like, I do photography and I want to do photography for your business because I love what your business does.
I feel like you've already kind of accomplished that in a way. Not maybe to like the standard or like, you know, legacy you want to be at.
Yeah.
Or like what will be satisfying to you. But I feel like you have accomplished that to a very degree. Because again, bro, like, you've built a network. You've built your own network of people. And people come to you constantly.
Yeah.
And that's where it's kind of like, sometimes I get kind of like, what the fuck, this guy? How are you feeling like this when you have all these people coming to you and looking at you with like this gaze of just bewilderment? Bro, you just start dropping scientific terms on these fuckers and they're always just like, wow.
But you know what? The thing is, some people don't. Some people will listen, and a lot of people don't just say what they want to say. There's people that are just listening to me because
they just want to,
they want me to shut up.
or yeah.
They're waiting. They're here for something, and they're just waiting. You know, like everybody's got their own. I don't know. It's really hard. I think it does go back all the way to say like, if you don't really love yourself, it's really hard to believe when other people love you. You know, like,
Yeah.
when you feel like you're not adequate enough and you're not good enough, and when other people think that you're awesome, you like don't believe it. So
Yeah.
like when I want to go record something and be like, yo guys, like this is what's gonna make you feel happy about yourself, I can't really feel like I genuinely say that all the time. Because,
But see,
you
what,
know, like,
what I think it is though is that what you got to do before you press record and start speaking is look at these pictures or think back or watch videos from past competitions and how like you see Ava do her snatch and all of a sudden she's like happy as a fucking clam, giving you a giant bear hug. Like you got to kind of put yourself in that mindset again of that feeling of just like, hell yeah, I've seen this bitch lift more than what she weighs. And if you want to do it, I can get you to that point too. Like, because, you know, it is faking it to a degree, but you kind of have to hype yourself up, put yourself back in that scenario where you felt like, fuck yeah, you know? And then you make that recording. Because if you have that same, like, energy from that day or from that time or any, like, it'll translate. It'll translate. But it is also kind of, it is a fake in a way. But it's not like a fake where, you know, you're just gonna walk up and you know in the back of your mind what you're saying is scripted and yeah, guy, you know. But if you put yourself back into that energy where it was like an actual thing that you felt, because I know you could tap into yourself and like kind of redraw that inspiration anytime. Like if you're just laying there or something, I'm sure you could get hyped just being like, hell yeah, I think those fucking kids lift heavy shit.
yeah, I mean,
I think that's what it really it boils down to is that you kind of have to put yourself in that coach role where you're coaching a meet, you know, you're ready to see great things happen because you know great things can happen, and then just press play or press record. I would say do a line of cocaine or something, but that may not be as healthy.
yeah, it doesn't really fit in with my values.
Right. Then it would really be fake. It would really be fake.
I mean, you know, 400 milligrams of caffeine is probably pretty close.
Yeah. It just doesn't hit as quick, you know? It's not as quick acting.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that's what it may, like that may inspire you to actually believe in what you're saying, is if you kind of like mentally put yourself back in that position where you're like either a venom coach or you're the coach here, like doing your own meet. Like just putting yourself back in your own shoes again.
Yeah, you know, it's like weird because I think so. Like when I'm the coach of Venom, or I'm the coach of high performing athletes, and then when I'm like, you know, the coach of people that are entirely on the opposite spectrum, I feel like the people that are on that side of the spectrum really think that I'm awesome or like
Right.
impressed by me, right?
Right.
And then I think that the people on that side of the spectrum
Like the ones that are actually,
are not impressed by me at all.
but the weightlifting ones aren't impressed.
Like Venom and like
yeah.
especially that level, right?
Yeah,
But the thing is, at the end of the day, like they believe in me enough to
put you there.
like let me do that, you know, like, and that part, that's one thing that, like, when
That
you
should
think about,
motivate you.
right, like when you think about like, yo, like there's people that are choosing to do this thing and
With me.
do this thing with me. It's so cool that they're gonna do that. Like when I feel like you guys probably think that I'm like a loser because I just like have this small gym and I just like, you know,
But it's probably the opposite.
I mean, I don't know, you know, but like I kind of wish people would tell me.
yeah, but that's never
It's-
gonna happen.
I know, right?
That's never gonna happen.
And or people do, like a lot of times. I really appreciate when people are like, "Yo, thank you so much, Coach,
Right.
for
Helping,
helping us, you know, for just making this a good experience." Or, and I get to do a lot of things with people that I respect a lot. Like a lot of the people in the grid league and stuff, and even a lot of the people that are clients here at the gym are doctors and lawyers and real estate agents who make 5 times as much money as me or 5 times as strong as me, and like they have at least the courtesy to be like, "Hey, Paul, good job," or you know, like whether or not. I think it goes back down to that I'm like, I don't feel like I did a good job, so it's hard for me to accept it,
Right.
you know?
No, I get that.
And I don't know how to cure that part.
Well, that's just you being too hard on yourself.
But how do you fix that?
Why? I mean, that's a tough one because like I fall victim to that too, where it's like I'm just really hard on myself for no reason when I probably did a good job, but I'm still sitting over here like, man, I could have done better.
Right.
But after a while though, I kind of have to tell myself like, shut up. You know,
Yeah.
you did what you did. There's really no going back. You know, it's not like I'm gonna be able to turn back the clock and do better. But then even if I did turn back the clock, there's a chance that I'd probably do even worse.
There's always, and that, I mean, that's where it's like, you become happy by being grateful for what exists.
Right.
You don't become grateful by being happy.
Right.
You know, like, you have to just look at everything that you've done, look at everything that you have, you know, your health, the family that you do have, you know, everything that you do have, and be really grateful. And those are the only moments where I do actually find
Feel.
that sense of happiness and
Yeah.
like calm and peace
Yeah.
instead of feeling like I'm having to be harder on myself. But
It's like those moments are a lot more rare than you being hard on yourself.
yeah, like how do you make it so that that's what you gravitate towards? You know, like how do you gravitate towards being grateful and happy all the time instead of like I have to sit down and try my hardest to be grateful?
Well,
You
that isn't so like unorthodox because I will have to sit down and really kind of be like, okay, what the fuck do I have to be grateful for right now? Because right now I feel like I got
I hate
nothing.
everything.
I mean, yeah, like I got fucking nothing, you know? And then it's just really like the small fucking things, small things. Like some guy didn't cut me off today. Okay, I'm grateful for that. I didn't ignore it.
That's cool, dude. You can, and that is something that's like, yeah, like you can really get all the way into the most.
Well, happiness is a choice.
Yeah.
Happiness is a choice, no matter what. And even with me being all like mopey, sad, depressed about Natalia, like I tell myself like, yeah, you know, I can be happy and just kind of like forget all of it. But then at the same time, I'm like, no, I don't want to be. I'm pissed off still about everything. I don't want to be happy because I don't feel resolved.
You know, that's true too. You know, it's not like I think you can be grateful for stuff and still not be happy.
Yeah, that's me.
You know, like you can be grateful for everything you have.
Look,
It's not. I don't think it's. You know, we're talking about like what's your why and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that if your why is to be happy, you'll ever get there.
No, you'll never be
feel-
happy.
Yeah, because I don't think life is about being happy. I think life is about having meaning.
Or at least
purpose,
finding.
you know?
I don't think life is about necessarily finding meaning, because people go crazy trying to figure out what the meaning of life is. You know?
Not the meaning of life.
Or like your meaning, like why you're
But,
here.
but you have to have it.
Jeez! That sounds disgusting.
Like I don't think meaning has to be like. I don't think meaning has to be what is the meaning of life.
Or like what your purpose is.
I think it's just yeah, like part of my life is being a dad.
Right.
It's part of the meaning of my life. Like it's something that's not gonna change. It's something that's like
A fact.
It's a fact. You know, like my life is definitely like when I was my first ever passion was music.
Right.
And I never worked out and thought that I would ever have a passion in
Weightlifting.
or help. Like my meaning was not to help people. My meaning was to, well, maybe it was to a certain extent. Like I wanted to make music that related to people, and like I wanted to see people having fun playing music together and have and make an impact on people, either with positive messages. Like a lot of the bands I was in had positive lyrics and everything, and I wrote songs about
Cigarettes
how
and
you-
names.
Did you read the letters? Yeah, like, I mean, and that's like, it's so cool how a lot of that stuff goes from like childhood stuff, like when you don't feel loved as a child, you try to feel love from other places since you don't get it from your parents, and it's crazy because my parents loved me so much and were so awesome, but I didn't feel it for whatever reason. And it's crazy because that's even sometimes, I end up, people, like you said, people like love me and I don't feel it.
Right.
Like, is there something wrong with me?
I mean, it could be a self-esteem thing.
Yeah. Oh, I think so.
Could be.
I 100% think so. Like,
It's normal though.
yeah.
But like,
But that's where I feel like having meaning, right, is something everybody should have. Like, everybody should have their sense of purpose and their reason why. And it could be as small or as big. And just because somebody's reason why is to be the best at something is not more or less like cool or respectable or anything than someone whose reason why is just to go to work and travel the world and exist. But I think you have to have like someone that just exists all day but really wants to be a millionaire is always going to be sad. because they're never getting closer, or someone who wants to just be relaxing, lounging and stuff, but they're like always having to work,
Yeah.
will never, because they're not getting closer, you know, like, but maybe I think a lot of people just don't go through that exercise enough of trying to figure out like,
That's the other
what do I want, what do I need to do to get there,
That's the other thing. Is
you
that
know?
I feel like everyone shares that same feeling that you have. No matter what, everyone shares it. Like everyone feels that to an extent. But are they gonna feel it enough where they do something about it? Or are they just gonna like bitch and moan and say that their life sucks and nothing's ever gonna be great and then they're just gonna live like that? You know? Because at least from what I've understood talking to different people in life is that everyone is sad, everyone's depressed, everyone feels like they're not doing enough, and that what they're doing now is probably counterproductive to what they should be doing, and you know, you can name everything. Like I've heard it all. And it's so funny because it's like it would come from people that I never thought would have that kind of mentality. You know? But I think you'll figure it out.
Nice, bro. We just made a podcast.